So the last time I did some recording for the X server was probably about 2 months ago. I went to actually go put together another video, and I had another section recorded ready to go up, and I realized, wait a minute, I don't have anything that explains how I got to this point, and lo and behold, I did a lot of building, didn't show any of it on camera, and was about to put up a little minor update video saying, oh yeah, I've done this little thing over here and that little thing here, and yada yada yada. Well, I'm going to have to kind of take it back and go back a couple of steps here and kind of show you everything from well, not brand new, but from a different perspective than what I originally planned and recorded. The last time that I showed you guys anything another, the tunnel was barely complete, and the path here was more or less barely out to here. Well, you can see that has been extended and is going on down that direction. I actually have a couple of neighbors now. I have a next door neighbor over there. And my tunnel is pretty much all set at this point. I am pretty happy with how it turned out, especially that I'm still able to throw a little bit of light and views outside here. As you can see, I've got another neighbor tunnel starting to form up down there, so it's starting to get a little crowded in my neck of the woods, but I'm perfectly okay with that. We're going to pop over to bunker base here and show you what I've been doing in there. I think the last time... Basically, I gotta treat this kind of like a brand new intro to everything. I believe the last time I was over here, I didn't have any of this done. This is all brand new. As you can see, I've kind of gone for pole blocks behind everything, and when you're just kind of looking at it like this, it gives you a really interesting sort of feeling like you're looking out into darkness in this way. So, I like how that turned out there, and sort of the same thing over here, just kind of lent itself pretty well to having stuff wrapping around the border there. So that's what I've been doing there. Nothing too significantly has changed over here. UHC room for my first victory ever so far is still there and intact. I have a super smelter array over here. Previously, this is where I had most of my storage. All of my storage has moved over into this room. And as you can see, I'm currently set up for getting some very fast netherwork building because I want to use the netherwork blocks for some upcoming decorations. Nothing else has really changed in here aside from I came back over to my little plant setup here and added hoppers on the side of each of the droppers because I realized that because of the hitbox you couldn't actually click on the dispensers here with bone meal, the bone meal in them, you couldn't click on them to refill them. So once you ran them out, you couldn't refill them without taking down the plant. That was kind of annoying. I still do have to come back in here and add a ceiling as well. That's going to be the really difficult part because I've got so many disparate elements that have to come together to make that work. But the biggest changes you're probably going to see are going to be outside here, and that is, as we go up here, you'll see the holes that were formerly up in the ceiling have been, well, kind of filled in. These were wide open areas before, and I've gone in and actually put a lot of glass in place. So we're actually going to go up to the roof level and check that out first. You can see I've kind of got little, I started building these, they're like little tilting panels, kind of like, sort of how you could have a window. It's almost like a skylight that's, tilted open a little bit. It's a nice sunny day, you want to let the hot air inside out and encourage some air circulation. Same sort of thing. But I got a little fancy with the color scheme on that, so it's kind of a bit of a wash from a blue to a pale blue white scheme there. It's the same on, as you can see on Journey Map here, the same on all of them. It renders a little differently because of the way that the map's rendering that. And I also extended it. Once I built it, I kind of realized I need a little more accentuation on it. So I put little connecting pieces out here, so now it's no longer really a roof that could, swivel up and down, but I think it connects really well, and I'm debating about trying to connect it up to the little towers that I've got supporting the purple drop of lava over here. Debating. Don't know if I'm actually going to do anything about it or not. Now, another thing that I have also made some significant changes on, and I don't think this has really been shown much in the video at all, is there's an entry hall over here. I think there might have been a little bit of a view of it, but not much because I was still finalizing the design For the most part, it was just this section that was done, I believe, in the last video. So we've got this building over here, and this is more or less the front, the front hall, essentially, to my castle. You can see I've been working on trees over here, and I'm really happy with how this is turning out now. Previously, I actually had this expanding a little further in that direction, and this side expanded off for another whole one of these overall sections off in that direction. And it looked good, but it looked a little forced. And now I've kind of been able to go back. Let me actually turn off my spawn and bookmarks there. Apparently I'm really good luck with for cats with diamonds. Don't ask me why. I'm almost out of diamonds myself. I'm running dangerously low right now. But yeah, we've got that, and as you can see, I've gone in, and one of the awkward things, I have a bridge out here, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the land on this side. I just started throwing paving down and taking it a straight line out, but I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm kind of thinking, my real surface thought on this one right now is just kind of do Venice or a half-sunken city in the water itself, which could be pretty cool, but I also know that I have folks next door, over in this direction I have to watch out for, so I don't want to kind of overstep my bounds. Plus, I've got a lot still to do here. Over here, I actually have gatekeepers at my place. This is the gatekeeper shack, and these are zombie villagers. Very funny story. These are two zombie villagers that I rescued and converted, and it's absolutely great because I've got all of the sugarcane in the world I need. And an efficiency axe that is going to drive me insane before the end of the episode. Hopefully the server lag's not too bad. One of the reasons I haven't been doing too much, aside from having my time eaten up by modded and tons of UHC episodes that I've been having to put out, is, well, to be honest, the server is a little on the laggy side most of the time for me. I can get on when I'm the only person on. It's not too bad, and I don't think it's necessarily the server. I think it's my internet connection, because even ZombieCraft is a little laggy, and that can, the second more than one or two people join that server, it gets pretty bad. So, but yeah, the great thing is I've got everything I need to build up a good supply of emeralds. I'm not going to say massive, because it's really not, because I've got to hope they don't trade this guy out. Which I think I have. Coming back here. But the reason why I'm keeping him around is that trade. Efficiency 5 for 24 emeralds. That is ungodly amazing. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Downside is, of course, I'm burning through emeralds, just trying to keep him unlocked at this point. Okay, so yeah, I've got some trading done there. Glad to get that out of the way. I do want to get back to the tour, though, and as you can see, there's a bit of an entryway here. This was a bit of a challenge to design. I did not want to just start carving through the mountain just to make something work in here. So it actually does kind of follow the slope and contour of the land through here, but because it's not as wide, I kind of had to disguise trimming down the width of the path through here. And the land over here actually lent itself pretty well to having a kind of, water feature. This is not the final wall, by the way. I'm going to figure out something better to put there. Probably, actually thinking a little bit of mossy stone, and then work in some wood around it. There's also this archway here, but as you'll see in a second, we've actually got that up there for a little bit of reason. And of course, down here we still have what we had previously, so we've got our tiered farming set up there. Of course, we've got our massive pillar up to the top that's holding up the ceiling there. And nothing else significant there. My old cow farm, unfortunately. This is where I was getting all of the beef that I have. And basically what I've got left here for steak is, short of buying anything at a spawn, I'm pretty much dependent on spawn food at this point. I just don't have enough cows that I'm willing to kill them off until I can set up a decent farm. And again, I'm trying to keep this tree over here. I like that tree. It's a nice big tree. It's actually the only tree in this area, I think, that's still standing that was originally here is this one. So I have to try to find a way to keep him intact and still flow everything around him nicely. Up at the top, you'll see I have installed a roof in here, and that is going to continue all the way over to the edge. That's where a lot of my netherwork's going. My biggest problem is that I don't have a lot of netherrack on the server, and there's not a lot of places I can actually get it. So that has been slowing things down a little bit. This little archway here, there used to be a way to actually get up over there, but now it's kind of changed, and a lot of this needs to be finalized too, what you're going to see back in here. But the intent is to start turning these into side rooms. That wall is going to get solidified up, and you have your option of hanging around that room or going up. You can actually cross over that way into a room over on the other side of the entrance, or you can follow this all the way up, get out on the floor over here, which is the old floor, which this will probably go away more than likely. I don't really see much of a need to keep this ceiling height as is. And it also continues all the way up to the roof. So the roof will actually be open in this particular area so that you can get up here on top of everything. Pretty nice view from up here. But yeah, let's go back down. I'll take you across the archway into that other room. And the other room's a little closer to being something that I'm willing to... Oh, and I've got this arch. I'm still trying to figure out how to pull this off gracefully with the walls that need to be put in here. I've got to actually tear down, this is my dark oak farm right here. So anyways, back down here is the stairs to go over the entryway, so it's kind of disguised to make it look like it's a little bit of a support beam, but you come over here and you'll see that I have the crosshatch floor. This is a little reminiscent of what I did over on ZombieCraft on last season, where I used acacia wood and a crosshatch pattern. I've expanded it out though, and I think the andesite, the raw andesite, looks pretty good between the blocks. It kind of takes on a little more of the color. It looks a little more brown than anything else. I mean, that's also possibly effective of the lighting too. It's going to be a little on the dark side here. And also get a pretty good shot here. So I've got another axis way, and this goes up to the grass level up at the top, so I can get that way. This actually does lead down into my mine shafts, but I've got blocked off just to keep any spawns from getting out. There shouldn't be anything really coming out of that area, but, you know, just to be on the safe side for now. So yeah, a lot of work that still needs to be done. I've got to figure out walls, figure out how to best put the stairwell in. These support arches need to be kind of figured out, especially because the path for here is going to be a little different. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with the roof over that spot, you know, what I'm going to necessarily tear down. And the transition, of course, between these two sections is going to require a little bit of figuring out. My tree farm's got to move. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with the cows that are stuck back there. A lot of stuff that I still have to do, but, you know, not enough time to do it, and unfortunately I've been absolutely drop-dead busy, and a lot of my spare time has actually gone into playing modded. I'm trying to start a series with that because I've always wanted to, but I'm at a spot where I really kind of need to, you know, stop recording on a new world every 5 seconds. I found a really decent seed, and I'm hoping to play that one out a little further. It will definitely be the Hermit pack for the mod pack that I'm using for the Let's Play. Just from a standpoint, it's got a lot more options than some of the traditional other packs, like the FTB packs, the Direwolf packs. I just kind of like how the Hermit pack's a little more simplistic. But part of the problems there have been, I went over this with the little teaser video I put out. The biggest problem is that the pack was less than stable with OBS, and OBS still occasionally has these issues with this particular mod pack. But anyways, that is a little bit of an update tour as to what I've been working on. Hopefully I will be back with a little more stuff. I'm a little wrapped up in ZombieCraft right now, working on holiday gifts. I'm going to have to try to find some time to do some holiday gifts over here on this server. There is a tree in the spawn town, if that is, that I've got myself set up under. And it's just a case of trying to figure out what to give everyone, because, you know, I'm relatively new to the server, so I don't exactly know everyone all that much. I mean, I've learned more from teaming up with people in UHCs than anything else. Oh, and while I'm here, I also have my holiday skin on for this year, so hopefully That looks festive enough. I mean, it's basically just my regular jacket dyed red and plain old Santa hat on my head, but, you know, it works. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you guys in the next video.